Good evening, brothers and sisters of Biafra. Good evening from wherever you are watching. This is BVI International Europe, and we are transmitting here in Germany. Today has been a wonderful day as always, but at the same time we're still on our sorrow. Because I will say we are on our sorrow because we are on a quest for something that is dear to our heart. And that thing we have not gotten. We are still thinking, we are still murmuring, we are still planning on how to get that solved. And until that comes, that Biafra, until that nation is restored, the Biafran people will never be happy. But at the same time, the life goes on. We try as much as possible to humble ourselves. We try as much as possible to move on. Against all odds, we do all we do. We are active, we are agile, we are also very, very liberal and happy people. Today, the 13th day of October 2014, we are going to start this program by opening at the same time our lines, because we want to dig into some very important issues. We are opening our lines so that you can be part of this very conversation. You can add your own ideas, your own knowledge, what you know so far and what you think about the whole situations, both on the ground and about us as a movement. Our lines also always remains the same: Biafran C in Skype, and another alternative, BVI Germany. I don't think we have that very line, so we are only using the Biafran C Skype line today, and also our landline 0049 511 539 1640. You can get connected through our website www.bvi-europe.de.tl. If you go to that website, you will be able to connect, to know the numbers to connect with, and get live on the program and make your own voice heard, your own ideas, your own knowledge, reveal them all for the benefit of the restoration of Biafra. So brothers and sisters, like I said, our lines are open, and I would like to drop the topic on the ground. It's all about what is going to be the fate of Biafra 2015 and beyond. When I say, I mean the Biafra movement, as at this point we are still on the moving process, trying to get to that actualization of Biafra as a sovereignty. So as we do that, we are going to dig into the topic, or to go see a little bit furthermore, to look at what is going to be for us come 2015 and beyond. What are we going to achieve? Because the time is at hand. We are talking about the born again of our nation and the survival of our movement. First of all, before this nation can be actualized, we have to think about how to sustain this movement to go on. We have to think about 2015 is not the end of date. There will be 2016, and there will be 2017, and the life goes on. So we are not only going to think about 2015. We are thinking 2015 and beyond. We are thinking about what is obtainable in the country today, how the governance, how the government, everything is placed, and how we are concerned and how we are placed at the moment to face this situation that we are living. Whether we believe it or not, we are Nigerians for now. What is going on now concerns the movement of Biafra, whether you accept it or not. And what is going on now is politics. Election time in Nigeria. And as long as we are concerned, we are going to look into matters that concern that nation and how it concerns our movement. Because anything that happens 2015 has a lot to do also with the movement. 2015 is going to be a time that is going to be a decisive time. A lot of things, a lot of changes. I've done this program a little bit in the afternoon, but I still want to do it again right now. I don't know how many people watched it. It's still there on our website. You can watch it through Ustream, because it's about what is going to be our goal 2015 and beyond. The movement, what's going to become of the movement. If we look at what is on the ground now, we say, okay, we're talking about Nigeria, how it stands. It's election time, and now the country is undergoing series of problems. Everybody sees it, and everybody believes that 2015 is going to be a changing point in Nigeria. And now, in that very structure, there's a president. And this president happens to be a Biafran. I want us to look at this thing very tactically and reasoning. Very humane. You sit down, you think about it. What it means for us at this very time that Nigeria is in the bid of divide. comes to be the time that God bless the Biafran people with a president who is there on seat of Nigeria. What that means, if God chose from all Biafrans, I want you to understand that the man who is on seat of that very leadership in Nigeria today is a Biafran. We don't want to concentrate on what is doing fine in Nigeria and what is not doing fine, how much money he's concentrating into himself. I don't think that is what we should be concerned about. If we believe that we no longer have anything to do with Nigeria, we don't expect him to build roads and make lights to work out so that we'll become one Nigeria. Anything that they are doing now is giving the very movement more powers and grounds for us to leave that very union. The inability for the government to move, the inability for the government to govern, no lights, no good roads, no electricity, no schools, no hospitals, no infrastructures, nothing, makes a good case for the Biafrans. Jonathan being there, taking the money, Biafran money, enriching himself, it's not our problem, the Biafrans. What we are supposed to be thinking about is the blessing that God gave us, that a Biafran is on seat at this very point in time. What we are supposed to be doing is our relationship with him and how he concerns us, what we are planning, what we are doing. I don't think it's an Hausa man who is going to be on that seat and we get the freedom we get now. That's why I'm going to talk about 2015 and beyond. Let's think about it this way. With all the problems, election riggings, with all the corruptions, the Hausa man succeeds in putting Jonathan out of that office. 2015. Mind you, the world is not ending. 2016 will come. That means the Hausa man will be there. Or we have a choice. Let me come this way again. Our brother said he's going to do something 2015, destroy the nation and get us Biafra. That is by means of violence. Okay, that's an option. We put it on the table, although I don't believe in it. I don't buy the idea because I don't know if he's really prepared to do that right now. And mind you too, if you go to war or if you start a war doesn't mean you win the war. So we are a little bit concerned about that very option. And we are concerned about lives going to be lost by that option. But by the way, we keep it down. Unless you believe in that we go to war, we win it, and we achieve Biafra, then you don't have to look beyond the movement. You don't have to ask about the movement beyond 2015. But whereby that is not possible, then you are looking at a situation where Nigeria, as always, continue to grumble and rumble, but continues to move. You're looking at a situation where 2015 will come, election will come and go. Like I said, okay, the Hausa man managed to move Jonathan and 2016 comes. What do you think is the fate of this very Biafra movement then? Bearing in mind all they have heard about what we are trying to do. Bearing in mind we are in court today with them. Bearing in mind all the information and all the accusations and allegations and insults leveled on them by the Radio Biafra. Bearing in mind our own call for unification and the actualization of Biafra, when they put all these things together, what do you think they are going to do? You try to break it up yourself. You will see you get nothing but blockades in the heart of Biafra land. you see there will no, you get nothing else than throwing away the very court case and making illegal anything, because they will tell you that it is not negotiable about the nation. Division, that is not on the, it's not an option, you know it. When they go to power, that is stamped, and that will be even in the constitution. And then they will oppress us more. Then they will kill the movement completely. So we have to be very careful here. There is something that has a lot of opportunity, a lot of win-win or win-lose situation on it in this very matter. That's why we have to be very careful about what we are dealing with here. Like I said, 2015 is at hand. And what is going on now in Nigeria is politics. And we are freedom fighters. How are we concerned about what is going on in this nation? Because in as much as you accept it or not, Nigeria is our nation for now. And we are fighting for our own freedom to live and have our own sovereignty. So we must hope that our movement continues. So how do we keep this not from happening? How can we stop the Hausa man not stopping our own movement after 2015? If that is if, because we still have an opportunity here, a road to be able to achieve something 2015. Also, with that one blessing that God has given to us, maybe we don't realize it. That good luck Jonathan being on seat of power as a Biafran. What are we thinking about? An Igbo man being there first before we realize that? No, that is not the fact. The fact is that that is those people we want to make that nation with. What our concern now is supposed to be is our attitude towards him in what concerns us. Not about what he or how he is governing Nigeria. Not about how he's not doing the things other people, other presidents did not do too. That is not our problem, because we don't wish for a better Nigeria where we will become one anymore. I think we better start thinking logically and upright to know the blessings when we are supposed to take them. This man is a blessing for our struggle if we realize what we are supposed to do. Our approach, our attitude towards him, realizing the fact and making him realize he is the person who need all this very, what do you call it, to all the whole stories, all the whole informations to know actually he is Biafran, to get him into it. Our communication with him matters at this time. The issue of not dealing with politics is an issue that when it came out, it was what the people wanted to hear. The way I look at it, they wanted to hear that issue. Then when it came out, they welcomed it. But not knowing that what we needed to do was to refurbish it and not to completely wipe it away from the scene. If you watch every other nation that has been looking for this same independence, even those ones we support, even the Scotland of yesterday, the Catalonian that we are supporting today, all of them has the political power to do that. Don't say it's not about Nigeria. Circumstances can never be the same. But now, even if we don't go directly into politics, we still have to monitor what goes around politics in that nation, because anything that comes out from that nation is going to affect our movement. So we should be calculative. We should mark time that very political aspect, because it must concern us whether we like it or not. If you want to think about the movement of the continuous existence of the struggle, you have to know that you have to relate with everything happening in the nation. So that is it. This time is the time of election, and this is a time that is going to determine what actually Nigeria is going to be 2015 and beyond. And that's also going to determine what Biafran movement is going to look like 2015 and beyond. We have a possibility if we come together like we are calling for. With that same Jonathan there, when the seat will be hot 2015, because everybody knows that, he will be shifting to understand if we stand and say our course for now till 2015 is to get to a referendum. Then we march towards that with all efforts. The time we have no time anymore. We lost all the time playing. We lost all the time fighting among ourselves. But we can still get it right with just this one stone to all realize what actually will we achieve 2015, and if not, how do we go further? To have another 4 years is to have Jonathan sitting on that throne. Forget about saying they give people money to vote for Jonathan. It is not about money, it is about what we should do. Whether they give you money or they don't give you money to vote for Jonathan is not an issue. Only if he give you money, you fucking eat it. If they don't give you money, you should also make sure that your priority is, if you're fighting for Biafra, you should look beyond 2015. The only way we can stand as a movement is if this man is there and continue beyond, and the relationship we try to establish now between the movement and the president, who is a Biafran. Let's not forget that. If we cannot build relationship with him now when he's there, when a Biafran man is having the key to the prison that we are locked up in, if we cannot build a relationship that will make him open that, then what kind of relationship can we build among ourselves? We already have everything in our hand. It can happen 2015 if we are desperate, if we know what we're looking for. Everybody knows about the bad governance in Nigeria. We are being updated every day by our brother station, RBL. Thank God. He's doing a nice job doing that, but let's think again how we're supposed to reason what is happening, and not all. We take the informations that matters, the updates. We know Nigerian government has been bad. We don't expect Jonathan to build roads and build electricity for us to become one Nigeria anymore. If he let him carry the whole Nigerian money and put it into his pocket. That is his business. That we don't care about that. That if we bring that money and say you people use it to fight for Biafra, we'll take it. It's our right. We have to understand what we are talking about here and stop deceiving ourselves with some kind of messages. This is plan work. This is brain work. You have to use all aspects of your intelligence to deal with this circumstance now. The president on seat in Nigeria is Biafra, and you are looking for Biafra as a nation. Why are you not? Is that not the very beginning? No matter what he's doing, why are you concerned about how he is ruling Nigeria when we are no longer concerned about Nigeria? Why should we be worried about how much he gets from their money and put into his own pocket? We are concerned about how he relates to what we are doing and how he will be a key to what we are doing. It's when we get to Biafra, then that life will not be brought in again. He will know it. We will know it. We will have reason. Everybody have reason to do all the nonsense things they are doing today in Nigeria. Circumstances warrant it. We should not forget that. When we are doing this judgment, we should do it from a very open-hearted perspective and get it right. If we make a mistake this time, there will be no other time. Our children will not like to do this fight because the time will be gone so far. They will be in another life. Watch what is happening in the Western world where we are living today. It takes only 3 months for anything you bring out to rain and finish. The next technology comes in. The peace people are thinking differently, and our children are among them. They are going to subdue the rest of the ones back home after this time if we don't make it. Let's prolong. If we cannot get it 2015, we have to think about how we are going to prolong the life and the movement of this very struggle. Our brother who says another option, the third option is if we can go now, fight that war and win that war and get Biafra, then we are okay. But how possible do you believe that? I don't know. I don't believe that. And how many people will die? How many blood are we going to lose for that? When we don't know. You start a war doesn't mean you are going to win it. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. The only thing we have to do now is to think about 2015 and beyond. If we don't get it 2015 by very disciplined, tactical manner, then how will our movement survive again is that Jonathan must also be there to give us another 4 years to plan ahead. Even if you want to bomb anything you want to do, you need time. The time is short for that. The only plan we can do now to see if we can achieve it. If we come to the meeting in Spain, we make it the point of duty for every group to put their efforts, their heads in bringing in people from all walks of life to bring awareness in all corners, in all aspects you can, in any way, so that we can get to the point of 2015 when the going start going wrong, like we know, then we can say we want to go home. If I don't know, I don't know exactly, but what I know is if we have 30 million people of Biafrans, up to 50 million, like some people, the numbers are not accurate, but we are talking about an approximate calculation of a population of about 30 to 50 million people. But at this point when we are now, how many million of people knows about what we're doing or what is going to happen? The people at home, as they are doing their own thing, suffering their own suffering, going by the day everywhere, like as if nothing happened. Only a very handful of people in Biafra land are eager about what is happening. Even our very rich men don't seem to understand. They only know that when anything starts, they can fly away any minute. That is the only thing they want to hear before they can understand that it's no longer good. Then the very poor ones are there going about and they will just hit them. Whatever happens. Then how many among us in the diaspora here knows about this movement? How many is the population, the percentage of people? If you think about it, you see that you don't even have 2 million people. Because if you make a rough estimate calculation of, if we say we have, let's accept we have 88 countries in the world. In these 88 countries, if you have 1,000 people, which we don't have, I just want you to calculate it yourself. We have 1,000 people into 88 countries. How many is that? When you are talking about 40 million people, you're only having about 8,000. And we don't even have that number. We don't even have that number. In some countries, you don't have up to 100 people. But I said 1,000 in every 88 countries. How many? And then where are the population? You see that the population, they are still back home. The ones here too are not into the game. It is time we start to build awareness if we have the right message. And the only right message and the only right thing for us to start doing right now is start thinking what happens, what's the fate of the movement 2015 and beyond. Because there must be 2016. The world is not going to stop 2015 because of Biafra, no. There must be 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, and it goes on. So, brothers and sisters, that is what it's all about. We are thinking about how do we get ourselves united? How do we get ourselves united? Every bad ruler of Nigeria is making the case easy for us. So let's not concentrate ourselves on what bad is happening in Nigeria today. Any bad thing here, we should even be hailing it, because that is what we want. That is the reason of why we want to go. It's making our case easier. So any governor, any president taking the money, putting in his pocket is not our problem. All we need is to think about who the president is. That president there is a Biafra. I don't know if you want him to be an Igbo man before you realize that. I don't know now how you want to live with them if you don't recognize that very gift of God there. If God among all Biafrans will choose him, who are we to say no? At this critical time, it's a blessing the way he came in. Everybody can bear that witness. It's just like it's a mystery of God. Why don't we realize it? That is what is the problem. In times like this, they know to realize the word of God is only but a few people. When it comes, it doesn't come for all of they need wisdom to know that this is what God is putting down for you. And this we have to realize it before it's late. Let's stop talking about religion. When we get Biafra, what is going to be in the constitution? Religious free, or we are going to say everybody put in religion, we are all going to be Christians, or you are going to make an open, the constitution is going to be open for religion, for people to be free to worship. Why are we concentrating on matters that doesn't really matter? It's just about that thing we said. Let's forget about all those propagandas. These are not our problems. You have Asare Dokubo today working with Jonathan. He's a Christian. Asare is a Muslim. He is not inviting the Muslim, the Boko Haram or the Hausa people to come and occupy his land. Nobody does that. Roger Sokrocha, for whatsoever he is a Muslim today, is not our business. If he gets the money and he's building good infrastructures in Biafra land, it is in our land. We are not supposed to be concerned about people and their individual, personal. These are your personal choice that doesn't have anything to do with his governance. We are not going to dictate the religion people are going. What are you going to do with? We have already brothers who are Muslims in Nigeria, in Biafra land today. What are you going to do with them now when you get to Biafra? You throw them out? Or you force them to be Christians? Is that the kind of Biafra we want to really have? We want an open society. There are moderate Muslims who live and who don't need all these problems. We should understand that. God is our protector when it comes to things like that. Even in all aspects of life. Why are you so afraid of your own self? And you are proud of your powers. While you are afraid of yourself. What we are talking about is to actualize Biafra by all means. All means of whatever we have, all intelligence, all good. As a whole good new ten hour you, a woonian hour you, or I can macare kuyanobo. Lesu trenohi, come man I could trenobo. I wound the matter, or camera. We anyhow we can do. Please. We should know the points to hold and not to condemn these things. Even if it comes to the point where we have to make a deal, even with the Jonathan, he's the Biafran. Why can't he be a president of Biafra if he can be a president of Nigeria? When the Biafra come, we let him be the first. What about that? Anything that is going to bring us Biafra. Biafra will continue to exist after you, after me, after him, after any president, after any first president. And so many more will come and go. But what we want is to get this thing done. Why are people concerned about who is going to be who? I know that is the real aspect of these problems. Inside people's mind, what they never even tell you, what you don't know their last goals, what they already dreamed of being when the Biafra come. That is the problem we're having now. They build up their minds, they build up the kingdom in the fantasies of their minds already. And so anything from anywhere that you know that if you're coming in contact with any man, it might so come because you have a wide vision. When you are into games like this, if you are somebody who is so open and so blessed to be a public figure, you have a big vision, you have a wide thinking range. I understand this very well. And that is the reason why if you don't use it well, if the wisdom is not enough, it turns to evil. The wise thing to be done now is not to know where your name is going to be placed in the history book, but the wise thing is just to know that your name is going to be among. First of all, that is what you have to bear in mind. Then let's carry on the job. Your good work will position you. It is according to what you do that you receive the blessings. If you believe in God, unless you believe in your own powers, you want to grab it by yourself. And that is what mankind is all about. And that is why we have problems today. Let's be wiser than this. We have no other choice right now. I don't know about the third choice of bombing Nigeria, getting Nigeria getting Biafra 2015 by war, by means of violence, going into it and coming out successfully. I can't, my brother, I can't talk about it. I don't need it. I don't pray for that. But what's my own? But the possibilities also I don't see. So if you see the same reason as myself, what we are supposed to be thinking about, that's what I'm emphasizing on, that's what I'm talking about, is for us to think about what is going to be our benefit 2015 and beyond. If we can get to a referendum, we can go. Also, by the grace of God who put that Jonathan there, he might call for that referendum and run away. We make a deal, you be the first president, and everything works out. The international community protests us. They know him as an ex-Nigerian who will be the best choice for the international community to see coming to take over Biafra for the first time. Who will give us more credit than this man? I want us to be reasonable and stop being a little bit jealous. I think there's a lot to do with jealousy, envy, greed here. Please. Who will be what we need, even if it's not the best for us, but what we need is to get Biafra first. Who is going to be a better mirror for Biafra than Jonathan to the rest of the world, international world, to support if we cause for a referendum and we say, yeah, he is going to be there after the referendum, is a deal and we make it. Who is good? He have only 4 terms, man, or 8 terms, man, and that is it. Biafra goes on. All we want is to achieve that tomorrow for our children, not for Jonathan, not for you, not for me, for the rest of the generations. I don't know where our minds are anyway, but I think we are thinking so I don't know, so short. That's the best candidate, and that's the best way. That's the quickest, easiest direction. Even if we don't get referendum, the only way through that our movement can live past 2015 and continue. If you doubt it, let him go out. Think about it. If Jonathan is not there 2015, 16, Nnamdi did not destroy the country, and the Nigeria continues with an Hausa man there, with all what we are doing today, all what we have said, believe you me, they are going to dismantle, disbound, confuse, confiscate, destroy anything that has to do with Biafra. This is the last fight, and we have to be together to do this fight. There is no two ways about this. It is at hand. It is not a thing of, this is the final analysis, the breakdown I can break for you people, Biafrans. If you have reasoning, you reason it yourself. Unless this guy will come up, I'm watching, blow down that Nigeria, get you Biafra tomorrow 2015, and wonder what will follow too, even after that. But I'm still watching how that might be. But in any other way around, the best thing that happened to Biafra, the best thing that will happen to Biafra and continue happening to Biafra till Biafra come, is Jonathan being on that seat of power. I don't know who again you want the choice to be. If you believe you're a true Biafran, if it's not a Biafran person in the seat of power in Nigeria. Why are we bent on castigating him? Why are we bent on judging what he's doing for Nigeria, how well he's running the country? Why is that our problem? Our problem supposed not to be what Jonathan is doing for Nigeria. If he like, he blind them. Anything he does to make Nigeria an ungovernable place is a good case for us. It's not him the first. If he wants to take the money he will eat today, has other people have been eating it, it has not been entering our own pocket, why are we concerned? If it's our own brother who enrich himself with it now and be able to turn around and get us Biafra tomorrow, why are we worried? What is your problem if it's not greed? Then if you won't have Biafra in mind, your goal, all you need, supposed to be let Biafra come and nothing else. What is the best arrangement? What do you think you can do if you have a president Biafra sitting in present in Biafra in Nigeria and you don't communicate with him? Is that not madness? If they ask you that question, how do you answer it? You say because he's a foolish man, and tomorrow you want to be with him in the same nation. What are you going to do with him then if you get Biafra? Because he was foolish now to your eye, you excommunicate him. What is in our head? And we ask why the black man don't understand. I don't ask that question. Everybody understands. It depends on how individually you think. There are a lot of white people. It's just about we ourselves coming down coolly and thinking. We are so much in a hurry. We do a lot with anger. That is why. That's the only problem. We are very much aggressive. That is the problem we have. There's nothing more. We reason fine. But the problem is that sometimes we act before we reason. Then that reasoning will no longer be fine because it's now over time. But if we can cool down a little bit I learned a lot about endurance and giving something a second thought. And that is the problem we're having in this very matter now, where the struggle got confused because people didn't give a second thought. People didn't want to eat akananti, and I don't matter akananti. Oh, gonna matter get me, get boy amansi, me say na okwa ade amama. But people just became what they thought they became, and they keep moving on. They never wanted. I understand every situation about what happened in this very movement, although no matter when I came in and what I've done has been a lot for me to gather information and reason with that information. They are bubbling in my head that sometimes I don't know how to speak them out, but with time they keep coming. I know where I'm coming from, because I don't like to make a wrong judgment. I'm born Libra, 22nd October. In a short time, it's going to be my birthday. The day before I start to leave for the meeting in Spain. It's the last day of Libra. That is the sign of justice all over the world. And that's what I believe in. I thank God for that. Let's reason. Let's make good judgment. There is no way for you to saying something does not exist just simply because you don't believe in it. If you don't believe in it, doesn't mean it's not existing. It's you who don't want to believe in it. The truth is that we are Nigerians, and how we have to be concerned in anything happening in Nigeria, because that is what rules the life of everything we're doing. What governs is a country is the politics in that very country, and if you don't checkmate that very politics, you make a mistake in every other thing you're doing. All your calculations will be wrong. It is not about, there are a lot of gifts. Gift of going to school, becoming so brilliant, so smart. A lot of people have that. But to read future, to read things, the best thing you can do, planning. There's a lot of people, there are people too who have the very ability to do that. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about seeing clearly. Seeing clearly. You have to see clearly before you understand it. There is a situation where when you see clearly, it is even your enemy you have to go and ask for favor. And you have to do it because you have a reason to do it. The reason why you are doing it is greater than the humiliation you derive from doing it. But sometimes you don't mind, because if you want to be a hero, you have to go through so many tribulations and humiliations. That's what it's all about. When you are not ready to go through that, then you are not ready, or you don't even understand what it means, what you're doing. We really need to be smart. We can get biafran next year. It's just to know what we are doing. Start from this time, writing any kind of, whether it is an apology or whatever you call it, to that very president who is a Biafran sitting right there. There's no time for nyanga, for you don't have to do that. There's no foolish pride. There's no time for that anymore. If we want to get Biafra, there is a lot of humiliations we will go through, we'll swim through it. I will be one to show my face to go through that humiliation if need be. Because you don't need to. There is things you don't do when there is no need to do them. If you want to pass a mark for something that is so dear to you in your heart. It's simple to understand. The game. The word is a game, and sometimes the game, even in any game you play, before you can succeed to go through the levels, you have to go through so many strategies, so many depths, ins and outs, so many struggles before you use your own strategy to make it out of that place. That's what it's all about. Even in the life we live today, in anything you want to do, if you don't have that consideration to know the basic humiliations you have to undergo, even if you don't accept that, but you have to pretend for reasons of the gain. If you don't know how to play that game, then where do you want to lead us to? Jonathan is a blessing from God. Watch the miracle of his existence as a president of Nigeria today. In the situation where Boko Haram came and make our case softer. In the situation where all the corruptions, all the nonsense, all the no amenities, all the bad, even the air. I wonder even why they say the America have to manufacture Ebola. Only the smell in Nigeria in the next 30 years is going to bring out, I say 30 years, in the next 10 years is going to bring out a sickness that we don't find the name. They don't need to worry themselves with any sickness. That place, and that is reasons. All those things are the reasons that makes our case very simple for us. And that man there, the Jonathan, is the key. A president of the nation has the key. No matter how foolish you think he is, man, he's not foolish if he's brave enough to say he wants to continue to stay. He can do whatever he wants to do if we motivate him to do it. The Hausa people are giving him also no options than hot fire. That he himself will have to choose what we would be telling him as the next alternative. We give him the best ticket out. And he gave us the best support. And that support will be completely and generally recognized by all international. Man, don't forget about Nigeria is a nation. When it existed, people recognize it, the world knows about it. Jonathan being the president of Nigeria is a credit to what we are doing. If we can lobby him down to know that these abuses, all these things, insults he have received, I am sorry for him. I apologize for the rest on the whole of Biafrans on behalf of to Jonathan for all those insults. I apologize on behalf of all the Biafrans. And it's only who he doesn't know. If there are people who knows him, who talks to him, please let them start a good relationship. He will not get a better ticket out than the ticket we are going to give him, and that's why the idea is going to function, and that's why we might be successful 2015. We might be successful 2015 before February. An election and akro ngongo aneji njinji aneji anaga ha na-eme time ana agbada na-aga to October 1st mgbe a ga-eme that very thing. Amatala ihe na-eme. We are going to know where we stand. It's all about. Then I am now out here in the international, in the world. Oh, Jesus Christ, these people. If we know how easy this very thing we are looking for, with the situation of things, with the balance of the politics, even we want to ignore. With the balance of that politics in Nigeria, we get it. But if we miss it, we still have second and last chance. And that only can be possible if we also know that the best option for us to do now is, no matter what we're doing, planning for the referendum, we're also going to be planning for how to make sure that Jonathan remain there. Whether he gives people money or not, forget about that aspect. Don't look into that shit talk. What you got to do is to make sure that that guy stays there for us to have another 4 years to live and to continue to struggle on the platform, on the avenue of actualization of Biafra. If we get another time, even for natural log, That will give you a little bit more time to know, to think again if that is actually what you want to do. To go get connected with people who will even help you in that thing you want to do. Because I see no connections, I see no, unless magic, I can't not, what the man says anyway. Let's see, the magic might happen, boom, he gets you Biafra. But I don't believe in it, like I keep saying. But I continue to tell him the best way for us to do is to buy time, whereby we cannot get to referendum and we cannot win it this time. We get to the point where we can extend the movement of Biafra only by revoting Jonathan into that very position. If you like, you say, I'm not interested in all those fallacy, all those kind of nonsense talk. I don't believe in, I believe in whatever comes to me. I will take them, I will put them for my pocket. What I will tell you today is what I'm going to tell you tomorrow, is what I could have told you yesterday. So it will not make no difference. The only thing I will say, oh, God bless this day, I will use this to help my family. But I will continue on my own because I am born Libra and I'm not going to change my star. It have been like this with me all the days of my life since ever. I believe in nothing. What again you want in life, I don't know. Whether you find a more, you know what yeah, once you get your destiny with an open heart the right way, you know the destiny in life, you have two ways of destiny. If you make a mistake, you fall to the wrong side of your destiny, you walk it that way. If you get it right, you fall to the right side of your destiny, you walk it that way. That's it. Everything is into two destiny. Every guy who's living in life has two destiny. You have it two. That's why that's the confusion. Everything comes in pairs. You have to, and it's you to make that choice. Good, bad, light, and darkness. Chineke, that's how it goes. If you get it right, you fall into the right side of your destiny, and then your life will. Then what will you be looking for? Then you understand what I'm saying. What you're looking for is anything that is going to, what you're looking for, anything that will make your existence as a human being honored. Nothing again. What are you looking for? How many houses do you want to have? How many cars do you want to have? You know, my hobby, my life, my own hobby is cars. I don't go for the very flashy, very rich cars, but I tell you, in my life, maybe I'm up to maybe 200 cars because I buy them and sell them immediately and buy them and continue. That's how I do it. Not so wonderful cars, but I've tested how many you want to use. You find out that all these things are nonsense. Even though the wine, it doesn't matter when you use it. This year, in the next 4 years, I use it. How many houses do you want to build? You have one there, you have one here. What again you want in your life? What do you want? Than anything that will honor you in life. To be able to know that you see the manifest, your plans, your good work manifesting, and you see it the right way at a place where you will be cheered, and in you know that there's no pretense, there's nothing within that condemns you in what you've done. God will bless you, give you more spirit and more able to keep planning. What again you can do for yourself in life? Is it the plan you plan for your family? Or the one you've planned for some big group of people, like a nation? Charity begins at home. You start to know it. You start to know how you can be able to organize things within you and hold to things. You check your past friends, how you've been able to hold relationship, and the ones how you fall out with ones and why you fall out with ones. You start to first of all justify your own self and your conditions. We will get it right. I believe we are going to get it right. My brothers, we are Biafrans, and we believe there is something in us that is special, I am pleading on Biafrans to please, let's show that thing that makes us special. And anything that want to make you special is just about what you think and how you think. And I'm telling you, this is only what we're going to do this time. To think about our benefit now, 2015 and beyond. How they sustain this movement beyond 2015. What's the best thing for us to do to get it sustained? If we don't believe that Nagaba, boom, today, Biafra by war, and wanted that Biafra. If you don't believe that it's going to come 2015 by war, what do you think about how we are going to sustain the movement after 2015? Bearing in mind that things could change today if Jonathan leaves that position and then Nnamdi Elugi bomb. Nnamdi no get to Biafra. Then Jonathan gets away from there because anything can happen. Mago Drohanya that side, you know that. You will not be surprised if they tell you that Hausa people have taken the distance from Nigeria, from Jonathan. What will happen is just like that. Oh, Moto, Uko, Sorogwam, but it's moving. Nigeria has always been like that. But it's rolling. The confusion will come. Jonathan will be out. After 2017-16 must come. The year will not stop because of Biafra and Nigeria. No. The years must continue. Then what happens when 2016 comes and Jonathan is out? What do you think is going to become of this Biafra movement with all what they know about what we're doing right now? Don't you think that's going to be a dead point? That they are going to do everything possible for them to make sure that they tie us to completely to the war where you don't have movement in and disband and do anything to make sure it becomes a taboo for you even to mention Biafra in Nigeria. You come here again about Shoko in the international community, nobody knows about that. So we have to think about it. If we want to help ourselves, we come together now. We come to Spain on the 24th, 25th, 26th. Forget about every other kind of ego, because this is the perfect breakdown of what is going to be and what can be. If you like, anyone you like, you take from these three points of view. Boom, bomb, Biafra, Biafra, then do you believe that 2015, then 2016 we are in Biafra? After anyway, beyond, something must happen. If you throw boom, Biafra come. It's not, maybe, are we going to fight only 1 year? Maybe not. Are we going to win? Maybe not. So this one is why I am afraid of that very solution. And are we even ready to go for that now? Maybe also not. I will not say not, but let me say maybe not. You know? Then if you don't believe that, what is the next option? The next option is to call for referendum, to make sure we come to Spain and forget all ego, forget everything, looking completely with an open eye, seeing our opportunities, seeing that in that very country now is a Biafra man who is there. Let's not be blind and call Jonathan something else. We don't have to think about, I'm saying it, we don't have to think about how he's ruling Nigeria. If you like, chop the whole money where Nigeria gets. It's their own problem. What we need to do is to how does Jonathan connect Biafra, and what should we be doing so that he will be on our side come 2015, when we know the seat of that very presidency will be hot, so that he will have the best option way out through what we are calling for. He, as a president, is the only man too who will be highly recommended and recognized in the international community if he will come out from call for referendum and we make him the first president of Biafra. He's a Biafran. Why must he be an Igbo man? Because I see an atom of greed. That's why people are trying to condemn anybody who knows that when the time comes, the people who are the people will say, okay, to condemn them, to tell them that their characters have been, is all about Nigeria. Everybody, every one of us who have lived in Nigeria, whoever is talking from any sense he's talking from, has encountered with some unpleasant attitude because of the situation we find ourselves in Nigeria. That is not what you in Nigeria today. We have a when it comes to Biafra. No. Don't tell me that. It is, we know that even no matter how you think about it, the doctor said it the other day, even if we get Biafra tomorrow, it doesn't mean we are just going to be completely clean. But we are going to try that time. Everybody's going to realize that we have entered into a new phase. No matter who you are. Those guys who have that money, they are from Nigeria this time. We even use it for Biafra, believe you me. Believe you me. Let's think positive for once. Let's not just think everything evil and call everything evil. Let's know that no matter whatever happens, we are still going to live together as brothers and sisters in that land. Let's forget about bringing religion into freedom fighting and castigating people and calling them Hausa Fulani, the people who have joined Muslim. What are you going to do with those who have already joined Muslim now, who are living in Biafra land? When you get Biafra, then you throw them away. Or what are we going to even have in that constitution about religion? Freedom of religion or not? Or we are going to impose people to the religion they are going to worship? Is that what you want in Biafra? Let's forget about that, because that is not an issue at all. These have been brought in simply to bring about propaganda, and we see it played out, and we see what it have driven our people to. Absolute hatred among ourselves. That's why we tell you, take the gospels that everybody knows about the bad governance in Nigeria that RBL have been emphasizing. Yes, we know it. We know it even before RBL tells us. But it's good that they update us on events every day. Fine. But forget about all this other propaganda, religion, Jonathan of all people. Even if you think he doesn't know, he's a foolish man, he's clueless, like people call him, all sort of names, but he is the man chosen by God among the whole of the Biafrans to be on that seat at this very critical time. Why are you jealous of the work of God? Why don't you realize that is the work of God? You need wisdom, you know. You really need wisdom to understand the trend of events sometimes when they are happening in life. Or else you make mistakes just because of ego, jealousy, greed, envy. That's what is pushing us, and that's why we're seeing what we're seeing today. If everybody need to mellow down and know what thinking is all about and what unification is all about and what we really need to do at this time, you know that we have it on our hands. That Biafra is on our palms. But what is our problem is those things in the body. Those things in the body. Those physical needs. Those fantasies. People have already built their fantasies of what they are going to be in Biafra when it comes, in their mind. That is what is holding us. Let's not do that. The only thing I will advise anybody who is in search and who is active in this very struggle now is to fight for your name. Forget about the position where your name is going to be in the history book, but fight for your name to be in that history book. That should be your goal. You are a hero. If you have that in mind, working, giving your whole you can, all you can to the struggle, and having your, of course you have your own normal life you live, but the more you can give and keep going, the choice is going to be made according to your merit of the position where your name is going to be. But the position is not what you build in fantasy before the time. Let's keep going. Let's keep walking. Let's be focused on where we want to go, not on what we want to be when we get there. That's the only problem we have, No matter whatever you're thinking, all what has been going on is circulated on this very issue, this very one thing I tell you right now. And that's why we started thinking the way we're not supposed to think. That's why these propagandas came now and diverted the attention of people. People started concentrating on what Jonathan is doing for Nigeria. While we know that we don't expect Jonathan to do anything good for Nigeria, because we don't want to be no one Nigeria anymore. Let him do the whole shit he can do there. Any bad thing that anybody does in Nigeria now is a credit for us, because that's the reason why we no longer want to be them. Why don't we start thinking the direction we're supposed to be thinking? We get the news, we turn them around just to build up that propaganda because of that self-want, because of that envy, because of that pride, that ego, because of that jealousy. A lot of things coupled here. My brother, who is an RBL director, is a wonderful and a perfect spokesman. Nobody does that. Nobody disbelieves that. But the fact that he took in to, I don't know. You don't know how people start their life. You don't know how their childhood were. Most of these things have a lot to do with how you grew up. So that makes you do some kind of things you do anyway. But that is something very wrong that he did. To take to the side of being a one-man hero, a one-man actor. We can do it that way. To do that, he needs to damage a lot of things to get that job done, to become the one-man hero. You have to damage, you have to do a lot of butchering, which he did, and that is why we're suffering what we're suffering. That is why you see all this propaganda coming in. That is why you see this channeling of people ideology and thinking to a direction where we're not supposed to think about. Before Jonathan came, start swallowing that money. Hausa people have been swallowing that money. So what's our business about it? After all, we no longer want to be there. Our concentration should be on the relationship between we and Jonathan as regards to Biafra, and not what he's doing for Biafra, for Nigeria. But because of that propaganda that built up made us start to think that way, because that's the way they marshaled people to think. Very wrong, very bad. I cry for that every day, because it's a situation, unless you know what it means. When then you understand what the damage is really all about. Because up to tomorrow, in the minds of the people, Biafrans, there's a big damage, another mental sickness we have adapted by the teaching of Nnamdi. That will take time to heal. The only thing too that will heal it, that can heal it, is this guy coming now to accord. And let's follow that channel of thinking about how do we get to the point of referendum. I don't know how he really tell me now that he's going to bomb Nigeria, boom, tomorrow, and the Biafra come. I don't want to think about that, and it sounds crazy to me anyway. But now let him come. Let's think about how we match our people to referendum, to be able to build that awareness to the grassroots the way we expected. The reason why we bought that transmitter, even if that transmitter no longer would come tomorrow, but there is other ways we can do it if we can unify ourselves first. Let's not continue to put more sound into Gary. It will be more deadly when it becomes medicine after death. Brothers and sisters, that's been it for this night. Machukwu Emmanuel, I'm here, I'm talking. If you have anything, like I said, our lines been open from the very onset of this program, because today it was just what I'm asked to come and say. coming down from the way of my spirit. When I did some evaluations of every circumstance or the whole rattles that we're going through on this struggle, so I came up with that anyway. If you have something different or something better or something to make us think again, maybe you can call in by way of Skype, biafran C, or telephone 0049-511-539-1640. Biafran C, in Europe, we are here, we are live, we're going to take a call. Because it's important what we're talking about, to start thinking about what exactly is happening. I think I made my own analysis about what I know is going to be of the movement if we make a mistake and if we get it right. You think about it, maybe you think I'm wrong. Like I always tell you, I'm not telling you I'm telling you the truth, I'm telling you something. So you have to think, because we are humans, to know if that's truth or not, or if it's closer to the truth. What can you use? What I told you or what you've been hearing? What makes sense? It's all about how we think, you know. So brothers and sisters, Mwachukwu Emmanuel, I am here as always. I like to play you some music while we keep waiting for anybody who will call in and give us his own take on the very fantastic topic this night. This topic is going to be repeated over and over because I don't know what else I'll be telling you, if not the meeting in Spain and unification.
Anyị jezie n'Europe chukwunu eweli delegate chụọ anyị ụmụ Igbo ka na-edipọt n'anyị eweli delegate chụọ anyị ise bụrụ ụwa biko n'ụzọwa n'ụmụ Igbo Chukwu abịa ma zọwa n'anyị Izulu keme dike na UK.
In case you are just joining us, this is BVI International Europe. We have started for some couple of minutes ago, and we are still on, and we are live broadcasting from our studios here in Germany. This is our evening broadcast for today, the 13th of October 2014. And we are looking into the matters about what our fate will be 2015 and beyond. If you have anything to talk about, if you have any addition to make, or any dismission, or you dismiss what I said, or any objection you have to whatever, you can come up with your own ideas, your own values. That's why we're here. We are here to gather ideas to see the best response we can give to this very struggle. Brothers and sisters, I am Nwachukwu Emmanuel for you here on the studios of the BVI International. Our lines are open for you to call in and make your views known. We are transmitting from our studios in Germany. You are all welcomed to this very program. You're welcomed once again to BVI. Come and give your own volume to the very topic on the ground about our fate come 2015 and beyond. What do you think our fate is going to be? Where do you think we are going to stand if we don't get Biafra 2015? And if Jonathan is no longer in office? We have to exploit all aspects of this very struggle, the ideas and all what we know about how it stands on the ground and how it concerns us. Let nobody deceive you to say you are not concerned about politics, but the fact remains that politics is the law of the land and the guide of the land. Anything happening in politics today in Nigeria will affect our movement, so it must concern us all. We have to, if we don't play active politics, we have to at least checkmate politics in Nigeria. We have to be able to think about it in all aspects, how it will affect our struggle, because what is happening now on the ground in Nigeria, the politics that is about to be 2015 is going to have or play impact on how we continue this struggle. Are we assuring ourselves that 2015 our brother is going to throw a bomb and we actualize Biafra? The question remains, how many years of fighting will it be? How many casualties will we be able to ready to sustain? How prepared are we? And lastly, are we really going to succeed by means of war? Are we going to emerge victorious? All these questions we have to look into it. Then if you don't believe in that like I do, I don't, then what is the fate of this very movement 2015? First of all, we talk about what we want to achieve come 2015, or what we can achieve 2015. At least if we respond to the mechanisms that we have around to be able to push this struggle forward, 2015 we can achieve to come to a point of referendum. Maybe from there we can break loose. Where that is not possible, then the question comes to be, how do we continue the struggle after 2015, when if Nnamdi don't blow a bomb and we don't get it through referendum, or we don't come to the point of referendum? What is the fate of the struggle going forward? Okay, now let's think about if Jonathan is on seat, what happens to the struggle if he continues to be the president? Mind you, there's no bomb, there's no referendum, and 2015, because time is not going to stop. We are going to have 16, 2017, and counting. So, if after that time Jonathan is on seat, that means our struggle will have another 4-year freedom, and we can still continue on our quest. We can still do our job. Then that will be left for us. How active can we really do it? Okay, now we think about if by any means 2015 there is no bomb, there is no referendum, and Jonathan is not on seat. he can be removed. Anybody knows that what's happening in Nigeria, you can't predict. Anything is possible, and the possibility of Jonathan being pushed out of office is there. It's not a rare possibility. It's something that was not going to come as a surprise. So if eventually we come to that point, what is the fate of the movement? What will be the fate of our movement from then? Bearing in mind how far we've gone on the struggle, putting together all activities like we are in court with Nigeria today, the activities of Radio Biafra, all the whole insults, canvas, motivations, and what do you call them? Sensitizations. Abusive, threatening words to the land of Nigeria. What do you think they will do if Jonathan is not there? I want you to think about that. For me, I think they will do everything to make sure even the court case will be thrown away. They will make anything Biafra taboo. That leaves us now with something to think about. We think about if we go by means of war, like we have tried to explore that a little bit, let's do it again one more time. We'll be considering now how many loss of life. We'll be considering the money, the readiness, our preparation towards going to war, the loss of life, and most of all, we'll also consider how many years it's going to take and if we'll come out successful. For me, that is a no-go area. I don't believe that we are prepared to do that 2015 to come out successful in the next 5 years of war, if we can sustain it, or 1 year of war to emerge with Biafra. So then referendum is something that can be possible, but it needs quick action because we got no time anymore. We have played away our time, we have fight away our time, we have disgraced our time, we have misused the time. So if we really want to get it correct from this very time on to referendum point, because it's 2015, which is tomorrow, we really need to come up strong. From October, this very meeting in Spain might be a starting point. We dig it in and we make sure we channel all our efforts to that referendum to make sure we come to that point, because obviously it is understood or clear to everybody that Nigeria is going to be in a shaky situation come 2015, so that we can use that time, we can grab that opportunity to declare what we want. That can be done through that way. Now, if you come and jump over to this other way of, okay, if we didn't get it through war, we didn't get it through referendum, then we are talking about Jonathan being there. If Jonathan becomes the president, what are the benefits, or what are the push, what are our own contribution to make that happen? Because that's the only choice by which after 2015 is either of these two things, other things, bombing and the referendum doesn't come up, go or happen, then the only alternative is that Jonathan has to be there to give us another 4 years to fight for this very cause, to continue to move to push, even if you're talking about war now, to give it more time to prepare, for you to think again if that's the best option, if that's really what you want to do. Okay, even if we have to go diplomatic anyway we want now, we have to think fast now on how to get there to that point we want come in another 4 years of Jonathan in office, because that's the only remedy we will have. This other way that Jonathan loses the seat is not an option. So what are we supposed to be doing right now? If you think what I'm saying, from this very point of view, you understand that we have not much to do. Well, we have to do everything we have to do very actively and very, very fast. What we got now left for us as option is to make sure that we have two choices. Let's put war aside because it's not my own way. Maybe somebody who knows about that will come and explain it. Let's take the two choices I can talk about. We have two choices. Moving forward to get to the time of referendum, or moving forward after the referendum which calls for Jonathan being there. That means we have to recognize a fact that Jonathan is very, very important. That brings me to the point of how actually are we responding to Jonathan at this time? Are we really doing the nice job where that is? We must bear in mind that this guy is a biafran, full-fledged biafran. Why are we not in good cordial relationship with him? Why do we term him bad because of how he's ruling Nigeria? How he's ruling Nigeria is that supposed to be our problem? I don't think so. If we fuck up Nigeria, that is even more reason why we want to leave from Nigeria. We no longer want to be there. I think that everything somebody does bad now in Nigeria is welcomed to the Biafran people because it gives more credit to our argument. If Jonathan should enrich himself with the whole money of Nigeria now, is that supposed to be our problem? If Jonathan doesn't build good roads, doesn't build any school, doesn't build anything for Nigeria, are we looking for Jonathan to build those things to become one Nigeria? No. We are not looking for that. So we are not supposed to be thinking that way. What we are supposed to be thinking about is what is Jonathan's relationship to Biafra. And we will understand that that guy is our own person. We should know that that guy came there mysteriously, and that is a work of God. How come that happened at this particular time when the Boko Haram is giving us more rights, more choice, more argument to go? Is at the time God placed this guy there. Who are we? If God chose this guy among all the Biafrans, who are we to say that he's rotten, he's bad, he's that, no matter what he's doing? Why are we looking at what he's doing and not looking at what the blessing that he represents for us? That is a Biafran man. Why are we not looking at it from that point of angle? Why are we thinking about what he's doing with the Nigeria we so hate? If he like, he put them in darkness for the next till we get Biafra, that is good for them. That gives us an argument that Nigeria is ungovernable. If he like it, use the whole money and put into his own pocket. People, all those Hausa men have been taking that money into their pocket before. Why should we be irritated when it's our own money? What our concentration should be is our relationship with him. How does he understand the fact that we are another best choice? Another getaway for him come 2015 is a fact. The seat will be hot. If we have cordial relationship with this very Jonathan, our own brother Biafran, 2015 might be a possible getaway ticket for we and for him. We can as well give him the deal to be the first Biafran president. What's wrong about that? His God has already blessed him. Why should we be jealous to him? If that is the only way that will lead us to Biafra, we will refuse it. If that will make him 2015, if the seat is hot, he will call for referendum adhering to our own side of the argument. Then what is bad about it? He, as a sitting president, call for a referendum, makes it completely legitimate. If we give him the power to be the first Biafran president, makes it completely legitimate also in the eye of the international community. That will give us more support. That will give us every peaceful exit we so desire and deserve to leave Nigeria with. We don't need to live in a situation where we live and have series of years in maintenance of keeping peace of Malaysians and all offsprings of kinds of, I don't know what to call them, because we know this is real. It comes after wars. Aftermath of war is always hatred, killings, barbarian acts of all sorts. We know it all. Whereby also that is not possible for us to get to the point of referendum. What again are we supposed to be looking at here? Looking at how to retain Goodluck Jonathan as the president. Forget about what somebody tells you about the politics going on. They have given money, this and that. That is not the issue at this time. Money, no money, the priority of every Igbo man, every Biafra man is to make sure that Goodluck continues to stay there. In case we don't get the referendum, we continue to move forward. We have time again to extend our mission. Even for he who is planning to destroy, he have more time. For people who wants to go diplomacy, they got more time. That is what I'm saying. And if you see it, that's the only way out we got. If our man comes there because you can't tell me that the world will stop 2015. There must be 2016, there's going to be 17. So what happens if there is no bomb? I don't know how far you believe that. No matter how you get your stories from. I don't know how far you believe that there is a bomb that is going to be thrown in Nigeria today that is going to bring us Biafra tomorrow. Okay, let's say that tomorrow is in the next 3 years. Is that possible? Are we prepared? Can we sustain something lasting 3 years to defeat and come out with Biafra and then live intact in peace? I don't think so. I don't believe it. I don't know how prepared. I don't know how ready. I am waiting for that very side of the story to come. Are we ready to lose how many lives? So that is the question we have to ask ourselves when you're talking about that. So brothers and sisters, that is the program for today. I still continue to call on you people to please think about the situation we are into, how it concerns us, how the politics of Nigeria must affect us, whether you like it or not. You don't flag away these things and say you don't care. When you don't care doesn't mean they don't exist. It's existing, it's a reality, and that is what is governing a country. And we must live by that. And anything that happens to the election 2014 concerns the movement of the Biafran people. You also need to know that. You cannot separate these things. Because these things are happening together. You see it happening. The Biafran struggle is on the ground. The election going on in Nigeria is also on the ground. You cannot disown all our people who are concentrated and who are giving their time for the election because that is their way of life. We have to understand these things. We have to reason also. When you're reasoning, knowing, thinking about how is the man on the ground feeling it. How is he reasoning it? How is he doing his things right now? These people are busy on the same election that we here, also Biafrans, are trying to forbid. You have to checkmate whatever your problem is. If our problem is Nigeria, if our problem is the politics in Nigeria, we have to checkmate it. And the only way we do it is to knowing how it concerns us. If we look around, we've made a mistake about it. So the problem is that when Radio Biafra came, he hit it for them that politics is the problem we have and nobody should concentrate or attach themselves with politics. It was the news the people wanted. They accepted it. They didn't know that news, it was okay, but it was not perfect. What we needed to do was to readjust our system in politics and not to denounce politics completely. There's no way you can do away with it. Even the people we are talking about will follow their examples. The Scottish people, they did all they did through politics. The Catalonians today will following, they're doing it through politics. It doesn't matter whether they're in the European world or in the African world. What matters is that you are doing it and you are marking time, that very system by which you are being oppressed. And that's the only way that will give you the best reasons or the best systems or strategies by which you can follow it. Even if you want to talk about, say, you want to destroy the place, you have to know the political formations, how they are working. So, brothers and sisters, I think the best thing, the only option we have is to please come to Spain in Barcelona, 24th, 25th, 26th. Tell your group leader. Reason with him. If you want to make bomb, is he really sure? Has he calculated how many years this is going to take? Is he really sure he's coming out successfully? Is he really sure he can sustain that? Can he live with the loss of life that he's going to command? Can he live with that? If you ask him all these questions and he's sure that it's going to take him a period of 1 year, 2 years, 6 months to conquer Nigeria and get you Biafra, you are thinking about so many things there. Because the end result must be no failure. We don't want reasons, like the reasons why the cenotaph is destroyed, like the reasons why the transmitter is not there today. These reasons is just failures because they are not doing their duties. So if you give us a reason why you failed by killing our people, after killing our people and failed giving us Biafra, I don't think that is what we really need, because that is also going to bring about any loss. And if we lose it again, we are going to suffer more in the hands of those Hausa Fulani. It's going to be more humiliation and intimidation. Are we ready to live by this? Ask the person, is he really going to win this? And how long? How many loss of life does he think this is actually going to take? Let him not say, we don't know how long. We must fight till we get freedom. Some last for decades. Do we really want to live by that, with that? Yeah, let him give you answer straight. If it's going to last decades, are we really going to take that? When we think there is another way we can do it gently? and come to the point. We must realize something. If we want to get it peacefully, forget about the court case is doing its own job. Everybody's proud of the court case unless you are so dumb you don't understand what it's all about, or you are being blackmailed, that brainwashed, that you still don't get it up to now. The court case was established to do the job of freeing our people, giving our people the gap, the freedom to express themselves in their own land, and we are really getting that done. So the court case is doing its own design, and now the only way we can come to that point of say we want to the quest of this freedom to go completely legal and effective is when we drive to the way of referendum. There are 3 ways we can get there. The court case also is pending, but it might take time. Everybody rejects the system of court in Nigeria, but the barrister says otherwise. He says it can be pushed as early as in 1 year, in 2 years, to get it into the international law court, where we might be successful too. Where we might be successful for them to ask for a referendum. Okay, fine. The only alternative to that too is only if Jonathan stays there beyond 2015. If we want all the doc to follow what the barrister said, that is the only thing too. Anyhow you want to go about it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because anyhow you want to go about it, you have to go past 2015. And that is a deadlock. Everybody knows that. It's a time for change. It is a time that is going to come with so many, as at this very time, so many unknown. And we want to make sure that we bring this unknown. We can be able to channel this unknown to the very direction that we so please. That is what it's all about. Let us start to think the proper direction. Let us start to recognize the blessings of God in our midst. Let us not for any of our ego, selfish wants, jealousy, envy, greed, or whatsoever pretend or assume not to recognize or accept the gift of God. Believe you me, brothers and sisters of Biafra, Jonathan, as a president of Nigeria at this very time, is a blessing. We can testify that through all the wonders. I don't know how, again, you wish the wonders of God to look like. If the coming in of Jonathan as a president of Nigeria is not a wonder to you, and he's a Biafran, and he is there at this very time when the Boko Haram, all the ill-treatments, all the no service, all the no humanly, no infrastructure, dirty, deaths, smelly, everywhere. All the nonsense going on in Nigeria is going on. He's there at this time where we are at the same time in the peak of our demonstration, of our movement. And the seat is going to be hot for him, 2015. If we become the alternative way out for him, he will embrace us with 2 hands. And that's supposed to be our plan of action. I don't know how you feel we can get Biafra when the Hausa man is there, or how you think it's the same thing when if Jonathan is there, or when after Hausa man is there. No. I don't want, if you say that there's an element of hatred or jealous coming out from you, if you believe it's going to be the same thing if Jonathan is there and the Hausa man is there for us to get Biafra. No. The difference is clear. Jonathan is a Biafran just like you. If you cannot handle him now, how can you handle him in one community? If such a man, who will later be, according to what you want, an ordinary man in Biafra, will be when you did not recognize him when he was the president of Nigeria? I don't know where we are thinking. If God has chosen this man among the many Biafrans, is it because he's not Igbo man? I ask that question. I don't understand where the hatred, where the misconception comes from, where where we start to think the way we are meant to think foolishly because of the propaganda we see that is what rage. We want everybody to start thinking fine and beautifully. That's the only way we can get this. And we have a choice. And we have a chance to get this thing as soon as possible. Biafra for me is at the tip of our fingers. But our problem is not even selfishness, if I should call it. Why don't we recognize that Jonathan is a Biafra? How can you be looking? What is the best opportunity you want to have? At the time you are at the peak of your Biafra, is at the time Nigeria is at the peak of destruction, is at the time a Biafra man is at that seat of my people. What is wrong? How does the miracle of God work for you? You see a complete setting. We misuse the chance. We misuse the time. I told this my brother from the very first day I called him when he was in Biafra land. That was my offer. When I called Radio Biafra when he was in Biafra land after the 30th of May, that was my offer. The first call to Radio Biafra. If anybody goes back, listen, I told him, that man, Jonathan, is the only thing we can use to get to where we are going. I don't know. Nobody is seeing this. Tell me that it was the wind that blew Jonathan into that very seat, blew a complete Igbo man into that seat. And we are at this point in time that we will forget about that Igbo man and be doing Biafra. Why are we not remembering that Jonathan is one of us? Why are we castigating him and thinking about what he's doing with Nigeria? When we actually don't need anything good to come from Nigeria, or don't want any mixture or any interaction with these people as per living together, governance and all this. I think we are getting it wrong as Igbo people who are in the forefront of this very struggle. This is one of those things they talk about. The Igbo man wants to dominate. It's because it's not an Igbo man who is Jonathan. That's why we don't recognize him. That's why our brother turned it around and they hook it around and they spoil this man who is supposed to. Please, my brothers and sisters, today too, I have done it before, I do it again. I say I apologize on behalf of all the Biafrans to Jonathan. Not because of anything, but because of the light I see. Because I know this is the last opportunity we have, the last chance we can do it. And this is the only way we can do it. With him there, we can do it. With him there, the struggle will also have an extension of time to be able to work out something. Because if he goes away, the struggle is dead. If you have any other better predictions, you can bring them out. But we have the chance to make it. And we can make it. Only what we have to do is to take a deep breath and think again. The only result we should come out with thinking is let me go back to my brothers. Let's come as one. That's the only way we can do it. If you come out with any other thinking, even after a long breakdown, man, any other answer is wrong. The best answer is unification and march forward. We'll get this thing done. So that's been it for this very evening, brothers and sisters. BVI International Germany, I'm signing off for this very evening. It's been a pleasure and a wonderful time being with you all from all around the world where you might be watching from. If you missed this program, or if you're just joining us, or if you just want to see it again, you can go to our website www.bvi-europe.de.tl, and also you can go on YouTube and type in BVI Europe, and you will come to all our previous programs will be displayed there for you to make your choices and go through. So brothers and sisters, you can also get us on bvi-germany.de.tl. That's all places where we can get a hold of us, and we are going to play this program again, just like we do, repeat the program for people who are just waking up or people who would like to see it again. To do that, we are closing the show for tonight, and pray that God Almighty be with you all and bless you in all what you do all the days of your life.